Everyone, and happy after Mother's Day, Mom. It's unveiling week for the fall season lineups of all 5 major broadcast networks. NBC and Fox have their turn today, followed by ABC tomorrow, CBS Wednesday, and the CW Thursday morning. NBC just wrapped its announcements before a packed crowd at Radio City Music Hall. And here's what you can look forward to from them. The week kicks off Monday with 2 hours of The Voice, followed by the new military drama The Brave at 10 p.m. A comedy hour will continue open on Tuesday nights, Superstore and The Good Place, which is moving over from Thursdays. The Voice comes back at 9, followed by Chicago Fire at 10. The all-drama Wednesday lineup remains in place, consisting of The Blacklist, another Thursday mover, Law & Order Special Victims Unit's 19th season, and Chicago PD. Thursday begins with another must-see comedy hour, the revival of Will and Grace with its full original cast, and current Tuesday occupant Great News, headed by Tina Fey. Then comes NBC's most controversial decision, moving the acclaimed rookie drama This Is Us from Tuesday at 10 to Thursday at 9. The night wraps up with the Law & Order True Crime miniseries, The Melendez Brothers. Again, NBC is calling this all must-see TV. 1-hour series are on tap Fridays, Blind Spot's 3rd season, Taken 2nd, and news magazine Dateline NBC. Repeats play on Saturdays, featuring encore SNL episodes at 10, and the lineup climaxes with Sunday Night Football. When NFL action wraps next February, look for Sunday nights to feature Season 3 of Little Big Shots, hosted by Steve Harvey, Season 2 of Shades of Blue, starring Jennifer Lopez. In between, Game of Games with Ellen DeGeneres. Tomorrow, we Televised will recap Fox's fall plans this afternoon on Blog Talk Radio. Thanks to the main New York Media Center, Brooklyn now has an ongoing space to view promising TV and digital series pilots. Stareable is the project, and round 2 happens tomorrow night. Some of these pilots were produced in Brooklyn or involve borough-based talent. In a few moments, we'll speak with a trio of pilot makers in tomorrow's showcase. One created 3 Trembling cities, a study of day-to-day existence among our area's immigrants.
Not everybody has a perfect family life.
What does that mean?
I didn't have anything growing up. You have no idea.
Do you really think we didn't suffer?
There were 6 of us living in a flat till my dad made middle management.
You found your husband, the one that is the right man, the one Mom and Dad love.
It's not the same.
Is that what you think? It's all wine and roses?
You can't know unless you were there.
What's so difficult? He adores you, gets you whatever you want. He puts up with the hours you put in.
We struggled every day.
I'd like to live your version of my life for one day.
No, I just want to live my version of my life.
Once you finish your PhD, you'll have everything you want.
Rahul left me. I'm having an affair.
What?
And we are joined now by our first pilot maker, Arthur Vinci. Arthur, welcome to BK Live.
Thank you for having me.
What do you want to say through your show about the immigrant experience here in the Big Apple?
Well, what I'm hoping the people will take away from this is that there are many different immigrant experiences here, and that on the one hand, it can be a very confounding and very confusing existence. What I'm also hoping is that people kind of understand it from the inside out, hopefully. I think a lot of shows have immigrants in their, among their repertoire, but the main character is usually an American person. So I wanted to sort of focus on folks from other places and talk about what it's like from their point of view to be here, to be in New York, to be in America, and to ask these kind of issues about where do I fit in? Is it safe for me to be here? Some of them are going through immigration issues in the show.
And that sort of ties in with our theme on BK Live this week, the Injustice for All.
Yeah, that was the earlier segments were really spot on. And Make the Road is really quite a great organization.
Did you use, by the way, a lot of Brooklyn-based talent, or whether it is people in front of the camera, behind the camera in making this?
Yeah, a fair amount. We shot in Sunset Park, in Bay Ridge, in Bushwick, and a good chunk of the cast and crew are from Brooklyn. And most of the producers are from Brooklyn as well.
Okay.
So, or live in Brooklyn.
Great. All right, our other two guests created Choose Your Own McGurskey, out to find humor in the life of a former macho man. Now, this effort has a catch. How the plot thickens episode by episode is up to you.
A legendary crime fighter. The baddest motherfucker on the streets.
Ooh, warning shot.
The baddest bad boy sex machine that ever walked this planet Earth. Or is he? He's a complicated motherfucker.
Shoo, perv. Shoo.
Definitely not a pervert. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, nobody understands him but his lady wolf.
Get the fuck out of here!
Or does she? Well, at least everybody knows his name.
Hey, McCluskey.
McGregor. Princess.
Look, no! It's McGurskey! Divorce.
I'm all washed up, Roy. Don't say that, McGurskey.
Darkness.
No, you got me.
Depression. Drugs. Diarrhea.
What's wrong with you?
At least he has a little fight left in him.
And amid all that, we choose to have at our table the co-creators Ted Limpert and Matt Flores. Ted and Matt, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Sammy.
Thanks for having us.
So, Ted, how does this Choose Your Own adventure work for you?
This sort of started out as an improv show back in the day in Rochester. Did a show on stage called TV on Stage, and the audience got to pick from like 3 or 4 different TV shows. McGurskey was one of them, and I always wanted to bring that to the screen somehow and like have an interactive feature to it.
And you know, Matt, people like HBO and Netflix and others are working on this idea of choose your own adventure programming or choose your own direction program where the audience gets a chance to choose. So how does it happen in this case?
Well, right now we're exclusively on YouTube. YouTube's like the only platform right now that can host a series like this. At the end of each episode, there's 3 different decisions that you can make, and it really guides you through the whole series. There's 18 episodes in the whole world, but on your journey, you can only have like 4 to 6 episodes max.
Mm-hmm. And between the two of you, did you, like I mentioned with Arthur, did you use Brooklyn-based talent at all, or whether in front of and behind the camera?
I think pretty much everybody was Brooklyn-based.
Absolutely, yeah. Our whole Bort comedy team is based in Brooklyn, and the talent we used is Brooklyn-based, and we shot most of it in Brooklyn and Queens. There's like one scene in Manhattan, I believe.
So, Matt, for these episodes, how much audience reaction do you get, and like how fast does that audience reaction come in, and then after that you make the call as, okay, this is the way the next episode goes?
Well, we released it all together as one season, so the audience interaction is really based when they go into each episode, right?
Yeah, that was the one thing about this, because the audience chooses at the end of each episode and then goes directly to the next one, we had to release it all at once. So we've seen some nice numbers that there's not too much drop off from episode to episode, but yeah, we launched it all at once, which was kind of like a weakness and a strength, I think, for the whole thing.
Arthur, what do you think about this idea of a regular showcase for TV pilots and web series here in Brooklyn?
I think it's a great idea. You know, there's so much talent here, and especially in the web space, you know, in the web series space, that having a regular screening series will bring in a whole other audience that wouldn't have just happened to catch it on YouTube, and then hopefully they'll go home and then they'll go like, okay, yeah, let me look up the rest of these episodes. I think it's a terrific idea. Yeah.
And Ted and Matt, how did you two get a hold of Sterable and get into this showcase tomorrow night?
We connected with Jay, and it was just kind of
Jay
like.
is, by the way.
I believe he's the founder of Sterables, and he kind of like looked at our web series and thought it was something that could fit on there. And I just think it's a great way to bring, just like Arthur said, bring all these web series and creators together, and kind of form a more closely knit community in Brooklyn and the greater New York area.
Here's a question for all 3 of you, and Arthur, I'll start with you. If you had your way, what TV network or TV service would you like to see your project, your series on?
Well, we're actually in this planning stages of season 2 right now, and we'd like to expand it to a half-hour length per episode show. And I mean, in an ideal world, I think Netflix or Amazon, one of these sort of next tier up streaming platforms would be our ideal choice. But we're open to other possibilities, obviously. But I think that's our where we'd like to go with it.
Ted and Matt, what about both of you?
I would say Netflix as well. I think they've really carved a niche in the comedy scene, and something absurd like McGurskey would do really well in that world.
We're also thinking CISO is a new. There's a lot of internet channels coming up too as well. Certainly smaller than Netflix, but definitely that interactive capability needs to be there.
CISO, you got full screen.
Full screen.
We've seen in the digital content new fronts, there's like incubators, like people are Pioneer 29. I know Astronauts Wanted, Julie McGrath's company with Sony is working on an incubator where they're trying to target women to create 6 to 12 pilots that would all be Generation Z in nature.
And there's Echo, I think, EKO, which is formerly Interlude, which is an like interactive platform specifically.
Which Sony and MGM have equity interest in.
Exactly, yeah. So that's that would be fun too. I don't know, we would like to explore more interactive content.
Well, we know quite a few people will be exploring the work of all three of you tomorrow night at the main New York Media Center, and we really appreciate all of you coming on BK Live.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And as I said, Stareable happens tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. from the main New York Media Center. RSVP beforehand and find out more about this event, plus catch other TV and digital pilots with reviews at Stareable.com. LATV marks a decade as a multicast Latino-focused network this month. Chief Operating Officer Luca Benevoglio will showcase what Year 11 brings later this afternoon on Tomorrow Be Televised. That plus Fox's fall lineup, 3 p.m. on blogtalkradio.com. And speaking of Fox, Season 2 of competition series American Grit, hosted by WWE superstar John Cena, launches June 11th. There's a few contestants from Brooklyn out to finish on top, and we expect at least one of them will visit us next Monday right here on BK Live.